So, Mr. Jimmy, what's the most important lesson you've learned in life?
That's a good question. My answer is going to be very off the wall.
Okay.
The most important lesson I've learned in life is to trust my wife's intuition. God gave me
Good answer.
God gave me a helpmate for a reason, and He made her strong in areas where I'm weak, and vice versa, where I'm strong and she's weak. But she has an intuition that has often kept me from making a bad decision, or one that is not probably the best method for us to go. And I have learned, I guess you could sum it all up by saying this: I guess I've learned to seek the counsel of others beside myself, to trust my wife and to trust those who speak into my life.
That would help a lot of marriages.
Yes, it would. It would.
Get there.
It would. And she's there for a reason.
Absolutely.
And her relationship with God has allowed her to hear things from Him and keep me in check and help me out tremendously. And I've learned a lot just by listening with that.
Wow.
That would be probably one of the best lessons I've had.
That's a good answer on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So what is your strategy for success?
Strategy for success. What kind of success? Spiritual or life or both?
I think you can answer both.
I think you can answer both. I think you can too. I think my strategy, number one, is to always be ethical. Ethical in every situation that I'm in. I will never do something that I can't sleep with at night. Ethics, loyalty, character, integrity, all that fall under that umbrella. I believe if a man is ethical and honest in his life, that will breed success, and it will get out, hey, that's an honest man. That's a man of ethics and character. I believe in being financially stable by paying my tithes first and my offerings, and then not building a huge amount of debt.
Right.
And then I believe in my family being a priority.
Wow.
Making time for my two daughters and my wife. My wife and I have a date night every week. The last couple of months, it's turned into breakfast on Saturdays, finding a new place, spending that quality time with my wife, finding my children's love language, and spending at least 1 or 2 days a month focusing on each one of them in their love language, not mine, but theirs. Because if I don't raise my kids right, and I don't have a good marriage, and I don't have a good family, and I have the most successful company in the world, I'm a failure. They are the most important thing to me. So that is my recipe for success.
And not just a company, but even ministry, because we can get so far off, and and I'll be honest, I'm still trying to learn that balance. Getting there and making time.
Yep.
We plan it and we talk about it, but then it lasts for a little bit, and then
you've got to be intentional about it.
Yeah.
Like at night, if we're at the table, the phones are off.
Yeah.
The phones are off. We're having dinner. That's my family time. And I've told my church, look, if I don't answer, I'm with my family, and when I'm done, I'll call you back. If I'm on a date with my wife and you need me, you better text me 911 because I'm with her. I'm going to make this stuff intentional. If I'm on the phone with her and you call, I'm not hanging up with her to take the call.
Correct.
Because she's got to feel important, and vice versa. So you got to be intentional about these things, because those are the things that you come home to at night. They're your foundation.
Absolutely.
They're your strength. And the moment you neglect your family and your marriage and your spouse, your foundation weakens, and then you don't have a safe place to come rest and recover from. So do those things. That's the recipe for success in my life.
Absolutely. And we see so much now, this current day and time, where just marriage is under attack.
Oh, man.
And you see so many divorces, and even pastors, getting divorced, and just, what would you have to say for that as a pastor?
As a pastor, the enemy knows that if he can destroy the family, he can begin to cripple the church.
Yes.
And if he can cripple the church, that is his whole purpose. Mm-hmm. It's not that you are so great and so powerful that he's got to bring you down. You're not the target. The church is the target.
That's good.
And if he can destroy the family foundation, if he can destroy mom, if he can destroy dad, division is what he's all about. Mm-hmm. And if he can divide that house, the children are going to suffer. The marriage is going to suffer. The man is not going to lead. And the church suffers. That's the whole purpose of it. But that happens when men refuse to be men and lead in the home. When you have men who will not go to church with their wife, and they regulate or they delegate all of that to the wife, and they don't go, the success rate of the family actually decreases.
Right.
But when both parents are united together, going to church and keeping God first and doing all this, the success rate goes through the roof. Now, that's not to say things can happen. But as a whole, when mom and dad go to church together, when mom and dad worship together, when mom and dad make church a priority, and they choose church over travel ball.
Uh-oh.
See, now we done got to preaching.
Yeah. Somebody just turned us off.
Yep. When church is number one instead of number 3 or 4,
right,
the family has a better success rate of making it.
Right.
And the enemy knows that if I can destroy the home, if I can destroy the family, I can destroy the moving of the church. Now, the church will never be destroyed because that's God's church. That's God's bride. But it sure can take a beating.
It shakes it. Yes, absolutely. Yep. And you see so much nowadays that where, like you said, when you touched on ball, people playing, so many sports and things like that. And then that becomes a priority in a lot of families. And I remember that they didn't used to have practices on Wednesday nights and Sunday mornings and games and things like that. And now that is.
It's practice 4 or 5 nights a week.
Yes.
Games on Friday night, Saturday night, and then even into Sunday with these tournament balls, ball tournaments, and travel ball. It's almost 9 to 10 months out of the year where they're pushing their kids. And I want to look at them, and as nice as I can be, I want to say, I've seen your kid play. Let's really focus on academics. They're not going to go to the MLB. They're not. Why are you teaching them that these things don't matter, but this does? And you're setting them up for failure. What is it? Only 2% make it to the majors or to the pros, but all of them are going to stand before God.
Absolutely.
And you got to put this stuff in priority and in the right order. And then I've watched mom and dad. Once that happens, I watch mom and dad. There's a big disconnect that starts to grow.
Yes.
And before long, marriages start getting into trouble. Problems start happening. It's not on all of them, but why take that risk? Keep church first.
I just think even how much they pay for all this stuff and then thinking, you just want my money. I'm thinking every time you turn around, they're wanting money for uniforms and
a $600 bat.
Yes.
A Dean Marini bat. Are you serious?
Yes.
No, not happening.
Yeah. So, it's just where the world, I guess, is going. So many distractions to, like you said, destroy the family and take out the church. So, so we'll end this by just, what's your favorite quote?
Direction is more important than speed.
Okay.
Direction is more important than speed. Which direction you're walking in life is the most important. You're either walking to Christ or you're walking away from Christ. Now, you and I both are walking towards Christ, but there are times when you're running and I'm walking. It doesn't matter because direction is what's important.
That's good.
When you see new converts and you see 2 new converts and you see one just all of a sudden just take a huge giant leap forward and the other one is still back here catching up, celebrate it. Don't judge them. Don't go get on them. Don't get on. Direction is more important than speed because we're all going to the same place.
Yeah.
I heard that quote, and it has stuck with me, and it has changed my ministry. Because I would look at people, and I'd be like, why aren't you where you're supposed to be? And then the Lord was just like, nope, leave them alone. They are where they're supposed to be. They weren't ready for that. I've got 2 kids. One walked before the other. One talked at a different pace than the other. And God said, that's my children. Some are going to run. Some are going to walk. Some are going to have milk a little bit longer than they have meat, but that's okay. Direction is more important than speed. So that has become my tagline for my ministry.
I need to remember that one because, I started, I gave my life to the Lord November 1st, 2009. And then by February of 2010, I founded Heaven's Army. So I always thought okay, everyone needs to get on the same pace.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to do this. Everybody start their ministry within a couple of months, and that's not true.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's ones that are at a different
And I've also
pace.
seen those that just take off like this, like a rocket. They burn out and fizzle. And I'm like, wow, where did that come from? They went too fast.
Yeah.
And then I've seen the ones that are walking slow and steady. And that the word is just getting in them. The word is getting in them. And they're growing and they're growing. And all of a sudden, you've got a fully mature Christian who just was steadily walking rather than trying to run before they were ready.
Right. Absolutely.
So that's made a big impact on me.
Wow. That speaks volumes. So, well, I thank you for being here with us
Sure.
today. Thank you for enjoying my new recipe on
That's
my
a good
coffee.
one.
And
Gee, come try it. It tastes like a coffee cake.
yeah.
Imagine that, coffee tasting
We're
like a
just
coffee
learning.
cake.
I was told a customer this morning, I said, look, we're not coffee professionals. We're just here to learn and teach. And she's like, okay, just give me something then. So you can come here, create your own coffee. Let us create it for you. And,
Well, we're happy to partner up with this place. I believe in this ministry. I believe in these ladies. I believe in what we're doing as a whole. God has his hand on it. I've watched it grow. I've watched it change. It is growing even as we speak.
yes.
And I am just speaking life that God is going to open doors that we don't even know are there yet.
Amen. And you get some great deals here.
Oh, I
Went
bought
shopping.
four suit coats and shirts today.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you so much. Thank you for your support. So, well, thank you. And you're always welcome to come back again and share with us if you got something going on.
Sure.
Let us know, and we'll make sure we get it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was painless. That was painless, and I got a good coffee.